Okay. All right. See what it is? Vader Games here, VatorgamesTV, presenting episode 4 of Why Always Me. I'm here, and it's another week. Got to get some things off my chest, and I just got to get some thoughts out there. So thanks for everyone and the support over the weeks. It's been much appreciated. I'm back at it again. I'm back with another series of things to talk about. So, we got to jump right into it. I'm not going to waste any more time. And again, thank you everyone for the support. Let's talk some soccer, depending on where you are in the world, and let's talk some football again, depending on where you are in the world. Oh, let me give some props. Let me give some shout out to Black Irish FC. You know what I'm saying? They know who they are. Established 2002. Big things. You see the logo. Honored to have played with them. It is what it is. St. Patty's Day. Shout out. Much respect, guys. All right. Now to the show. As you know, you guys and ladies, I'm a Man City fan. And I was hurt. Wasn't crushed. I wasn't devastated, but I was hurt the last time I did the show. And it was because Man City suffered a loss to the Red Neighbors. You know what I'm saying? But we're back on the winning streak. All right? The winning continues. Man City did what they had to do against Fulham. And in the Champions League, did what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? So now, another series of nervousness because it's going into the quarterfinals. You don't know who we might be matched up against. We don't quite have everything nailed down pat with regards to our striker. We're doing some nice things. We're doing some big things with the false nine, but I don't think we can hold on to that. I don't think we can rely on that late in the stages with regards to the Champions League. We need a threat up front. We need to keep the defense honest, especially late in games. That's the vibes that I got. So I'm nervous. I'm nervous with these quarterfinals. Man City's got to do their thing. All right, so let me get some gunshots for Man City and that winning streak. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some gunshots going. Now, I'm not surprised that the streak started back up. I did expect to win against Fulham. I did expect to win the second leg. Now, who we face, I have no idea. Will the winning continue? Absolutely. Let me also take a second and look ahead. Let me try to figure out who we're facing, because I think in the EPL there's some big matches coming up. I think we're still due to face Chelsea, and Chelsea's playing some good football right now. They're playing some really good football right now. They did what they had to do to advance to the quarterfinals. So let me try to look at this really quickly. Next time Man City plays, Leicester City. No, that can't be right. Oh no, we got FA Cup matches, Everton. Yeah, that's going to be an important match. So FA Cup, and then after that, Leicester. So again, Man City fan, very confident. I think the winning streak's going to start back up. Whether it can get back to what it was, record setting, who knows? But no silly losses, and especially with regards to the Champions League, just play smart football. Don't overthink it. Rely on the talent. If we lose because of the talent on the field, not quite executing, but not necessarily putting in a wrinkle that the players aren't accustomed to, I'm going to be okay with it. I'm going to be very okay with it. So the winning continues. I don't want to be a broken record, but Man City's going to do their thing. And I think it's 4 more wins in league. And mathematically, Man City has won their 4. Is that right? No, it'll be 3 in 4 years. Man City would have won 3 titles in 4 years. Very reminiscent of the Red Neighbors in their heyday when they were doing their thing. Now, when you speak of Man City, and I shared with you my concerns with up front, not quite feeling comfortable with the strikers that we have. Gabriel Jesus, young, brought in by Pep, young talent. He's doing his thing, but he's not cutthroat enough. He's not vicious enough. Aguero is vicious enough, but he's got so many miles on those legs. Like, obviously, he can't play matches as often and as hard as he used to because those knees aren't as reliable as they used to be. We need to rejuvenate the squad with regards to striker. And the player that's on everyone's lips, we got Haaland. Does Erling Haaland go this year or next year? As a Man City fan, and knowing what's needed and just having that ambition to be top of the league, one of the best teams in Europe, I think they have to go after this talent sooner than later. I think it just makes sense. And I know it's not quite the financial business that Man City tends to do. Believe it or not, when it comes to salary wages, when it comes to transfer fees, Man City's not breaking records. Man City's not setting transfer records. That's not what they do. But the talent that we're seeing from this guy, and the opportunity to really separate ourselves from the competition that's definitely going to happen next year with the buyout clause. If there's a player to take the risk on, it's this guy. I really think it's this guy to take the risk on. You've heard me before, previous shows. I've talked about how much, as a Man City fan, I've missed Dzeko. Tall, clinical, ice in his veins. That type of striker, when we had him in tandem with Tevez and Aguero, it was just nasty. Balotelli, like, just being able to swap those guys on the field. And really, the height is what's really missing with regards to switching our approach on the field. And I know Pep doesn't necessarily cross the ball with that intent, but an aerial threat would just have the defense have to worry about something else. Late game substitutions, it would just be another dynamic. And you can't always rely on set pieces to take that advantage with regards to what we would have with Stones or Laporte or Diaz. But we need a big striker. Pause. We need that striker. You know what I mean? No more pauses for the rest of the episode. You know what I'm saying? We need a big striker up front to cause another wrinkle in what the defense has to be prepared for. And I think Man City needs to go out. If they're gonna set records, if they're gonna break the records, I think do it on this player. I think he can handle it. I think you still got to be responsible. I don't think the weekly wages need to be ridiculous. Still maintain that structure within the squad, because we obviously have the De Bruynes, we have the Sterlings, we have the Mahrez, those players that have obviously been on EPL title-winning teams. But to get him in the squad, to get him accustomed to what's needed to play the Man City way, I'm pushing for him to be pursued by Man City this year. I also think other teams now, thinking about the competition, the Chelseas, the Liverpools, the Man U's, I think they need to look at the same way. I don't think they should really wait to get him next year. Even though the buyout clause is there, I think they need to go and get him this year. Show that you're serious about him. And I hope Man City is that squad that does it. I definitely don't want any of the competitors in the EPL getting him. speaking of competitors, I feel, you know me, Vader Games always seem to have a different point of view, different perspective. I've told you before, I don't think that Ollie deserves all this Ollie out talk and trending comments and all the nonsense, right? Because I think the man deserves a chance to fail, if that makes any sense. I think he's done more than previous managers. Obviously, if the standard is being held to what Jose did before leaving, then he's got to get the league. He's got to get Man U to second in the league. But he, in my opinion, and this isn't being disrespectful. This isn't minimizing what Wenger did. But what's come out is that Arsene Wenger, fantastic manager. I give tremendous praise to what he did at Arsenal. But there was a point where his love for Arsenal had him not talk badly about the ownership, about the club. And I think that's where Ollie is. He's the modern day Wenger, because he's not gonna bad talk Man U, the board, the owners. He's still going to do what he's going to do is try to get the most out of the club without being disrespectful to the club. And that's where I see a real comparison between Ollie and Wenger. You know, like how he's got to navigate with not being fully backed. You know what I mean? How he's got to navigate with, quote unquote, the lack of club ambition at this time, you know, trophy ambition. So I think Ollie needs to be given a little bit of slack here. And I'm not doing this as a rival fan, eager to keep Ollie within the club, because I think that's going to be better for Man City and its opportunities to dominate the league. I really think that Man U, if they remain patient, if they continue to put pressure on the club, not necessarily the manager, I think they have an opportunity to actually start the Man U way, right? The Man U way. I think they have a chance to do that in Ollie, because he knows the club. He knows the heritage. It's in his blood. He understands what the rivalries are within the club. He understands the importance of matches. He understands the standards of Man U. And I think he needs to be backed in the sense that he can get the players that fits within the system that he's trying to build. I think he also needs the support if all the movements that Man U's doing in terms of what do they got, director of football and all these new additions, if he's lacking from a technical standpoint, get that additional coach, right? Quote unquote Sir Alex Ferguson. I don't know why I'm quoting that. I shouldn't be doing that. He is Sir Alex Ferguson. But he understood his limitations. He got additional coaching to work side by side with him and get the most out of his team. Give that same opportunity to Ollie. Like that, if you think about it, that is the Man U way, right? That is the Man U way. And on top of that, let the man have his full squad and judge him on that. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying this because keep Ollie there so Man U is easy to beat. Ollie was able to put together a masterclass against Man City. For whatever reason, he seems to have an edge or the advantage against Pep. So if it were up to me, I'd be like, get Ollie out of here. It's better for me as a Man City fan. But thinking about it, taking a step back and looking at it, I think the man deserves to lose the job with poor performance, and he's currently not doing that. Second in the league, you know what I mean? He's playing for a couple trophies, playing for a trophy. Give the man a chance to at least play himself, not or coach himself out of the job. And you know what? As I say that, maybe the board is in agreement with what I just said. Maybe the board, the owners agree that Ollie needs to be given that time to succeed or fail, right? So Ollie getting that contract extension, and I know it's in the works, it hasn't quite been finalized, but adding an additional $2 million a year for what he's been able to do, seeing how he's competing against the big six, right? Seeing what he was able to do against Man City, who are top of the league. Let the man truly fail before you kick him out the door. Because yes, he's learning on the job, but he looks to be learning quickly. Doesn't seem to be making the same mistakes with regards to, yes, he may be suffering the losses when it comes to some of the trophy runs and getting to the quarter and semifinals. Maybe he's missing out there, but it's not the same mistake, right? Look at the squads that he's working with. Look at like the players that he's had to manage. Look, sometimes the bad timing with regards to injury. Ollie should be given that time, and I honestly think that Man U is going to be surprised with what he'll be able to turn around as a manager. And learning on the job isn't a bad thing if you're still competitive, which Man U is. All right. You know what? This topic actually upsets me a little bit because I don't know if it's new age football fans or if it's people that have like never played the game, don't understand rivalry, don't understand history, but derbies matter. Like they matter to real fans. Derbies matter to real fans because it doesn't matter where you are in the standings. It doesn't matter how many trophies you happen to be playing for within the year, within a season. If you're looking at one of your rivals, if you're looking at the team that over the years has taken food off your plate, you're looking at teams that have ruined streaks, win streaks, teams that have ruined chances at winning trophies, teams that you compete just with regards to ownership of the city. That matters, man. That matters. And it's a different brand of football when you watch it too. Everything's a little more edgier. Everyone's moving a little more fiercer. Tackles are tougher. No one's giving an inch. That's what derby's all about. And absolutely, when you play those matches, when you win those matches, you have a right to brag. No one should be dismissing the derby win because it matters. When you're a competitor, when you've got the rivalry, you play it hard and you play to win. What I saw this past weekend with regards to Arsenal and Tottenham, and then even Jose trying to downplay playing Arsenal, who obviously aren't in the same at the same level from a standing standpoint, but they're very close. Tried to dismiss the whole thing, and rival fans trying to do the same thing. No, you eat that L. You take that L. It's a derby. That's what it is. You got bragging rights. You happen to sweep the team, win home and away. Yeah, you're talking about that, despite where you may end up within the standings. But obviously, rival fans are going to throw the standings in your face. But the derby matters. The derby matters. And when you look at Arsenal, I mean, I love football. I mean, I try my best to watch as many matches of the top clubs as possible. Can't always do it. Sometimes I got to rely on highlights. Definitely watch my team. And I try to also scout teams that we're going to be facing in upcoming weeks. Like this, just how my brain works. But I try to watch a lot of football. And what I've watched and what I don't like happening with regards to some of these talks and trends is that derbies don't matter at the end of the match, at the conclusion of the match, like rival fans trying to dismiss that. No, took the loss, you eat that L, you deal with it. That's how it's been. That's how it's going to remain. No one's gonna be talking to them. No, don't bring me no stats. Don't bring me no standings. It's what just happened in this derby match. Did you win or did you lose? And if you lost, you're a loser until the next match. And if you won, as as that rival fan, make them feel it, make them know about that loss. 100%. I hate that. I hate how that was changing up. It's whack. Ooh. All right. This one's kind of cheeky. So, as a Man City fan, and you're going to hear me say that a lot, there was a lot of talk about Pep being a fraud because he hasn't won a Champions League without Messi. So, in a cheeky way, I'm kind of posing the question, does Klopp need to prove that he can win without Virgil van Dijk? Like, take a step back. Like, really think about this. Like, and Liverpool fans have been talking about, with the injury to Virgil van Dijk, it's been an issue. They haven't been able to get it right. One player can't be the heart and soul of a club. And one player can't be. You can understand a few losses here and there, but for the losing streak, home losses that Liverpool were going through, that doesn't fall on one player. And if it does, then Klopp has some questions to answer. Why is he not winning without Van Dijk? Right? He's had, obviously, Liverpool turned that corner when they got the acquisition of Van Dijk. Champions League. Last year with the title. Now with his injury, and mind you, there were chinks in the armor before the injury, but now with the injury, the questions are there. Can Klopp win without Van Dijk? I think he needs to prove that he can. I mean, I have my doubts in terms of where he is amongst the ranked managers, and that's actually something I'm going to talk about on future shows. But Klopp, no Van Dijk, no winning, no home defense. Anfield is now penetrable. Klopp has a lot of questions that need to be answered. Liverpool fans, I think, should have questions to Klopp. I'm not saying Klopp needs to go. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying he's a fraud, as disrespectful as people were with regards to Pep and Man City or Pep and Champions League. I'm not going that far. But I think it is interesting. I think it is something to look at and pay attention to. Like, how good can Klopp be without Van Dijk? What's he going to do? But I'm putting it out there. I'm curious. I'm curious because I have my doubts. Klopp seems one-dimensional to me, and he needs to show that he can up his game, change his tactics, adjust when key players aren't available. We need to see that. What if? And I'm seeing some of the comments. I'm seeing the comments and viewers as well. Let me share this with you real quick. Sorry for the break in the action. Do me a favor, but I'd like to know how things look. I'd like to know how things look on YouTube for me, if you can do that. Hold on. Thanks for tuning in. Now, if Liverpool wins the Champions League, what more can be said? Check that out for me, viewers. Let me know if you can. Much appreciated. If Liverpool win the Champions League with no Van Dijk in the form that they were showing early in the EPL to turn it around, there's nothing that can be said. It's nothing. There's nothing. Can he do it? I have my doubts because of what I've been witnessing in the EPL. I have my doubts. But if he were to do it, hats off. 100% hats off to that. I'll be the first. I will be the first to be like, damn, did not see that coming. Yo, much respect to what he was able to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, there's going to be a lot of changes this summer. I think everyone sees how quickly success can get rerouted or adjusted in the league. I love seeing Leicester, West Ham, Everton. I love seeing those teams now in the mix. I think it makes for a better league, to be honest with you. I consume a lot of sports, NBA, NFL, and I like not knowing who's going to win said match. Obviously, you have your favorites. You can put down a calculated guess, but I like the topsy turvy type situation within sports. And what I find is the teams that have had tremendous success, long-term success, are having the most difficulty with modern day sports and what I just mentioned, and with the upcoming challenges of new teams. I think the Nastalgia FCs, I think the Man Museum FCs, Man Museum United, I think the Man Museum FCs, I think they're doing themselves a real disservice. I think they're doing themselves a real disservice by always reverting back to the peak of their club. An Arsenal to always go back to when they were 1 and 2 in the league, right? I think for a Man Museum, a Man Museum FC, I think a Man U, like when you go back and you think about the treble winning times, you know what I mean? Like, you're doing a disservice to actually what's required to build a club. You can't maintain that level all the time, right? So I honestly, fans need to chill on that. I know rival fans. I know the Man U's. I know the Arsenals. I know the Liverpools love to throw out their history against the rival clubs. They love to do it, which is all good. But there's a point where you have to be in the here and now, and you have to assess. You have to do all the things that were bragging points for you back in the day. Assess the academy. Assess the club with regards to the talent that it has. Assess the club with regards to its ambition to acquiring new talent. You know what I mean? Like, that is all good, but assess your club in a bubble and then look to compare it with the other clubs, because what's happening now is more clubs are in the mix. And that's why I love, and again, I love what's happened within the league with regards to the, let's say, the randomness with regards to some of the clubs that have been coming up. The parity, one would say. I don't like that it happens to be a cause of the pandemic. I don't like that that's the reason for it. But to kind of like reset things and have the Evertons back in the mix, I think that's a great thing. And I think you need to just look at, how do I improve my club internally? What are the areas that need to be fixed? And then look externally. Then look at what the other clubs are doing and see where that matches out. But you can't always just fall back on, the Invincibles. You can't fall back on the trouble-winning Man U's. Like, that's not going to stand. That's not going to be the standard that's going to be held all the time. It's absolutely ridiculous. And there's a point before an Arsene Wenger was able to get the club to an invincible level. There was a point where the manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, needed time to get his club to a winning standard. If I'm not mistaken, it took him 5 years, right? And then obviously building to a treble. But to always say the Man U way or the Arsenal way and to hold it to those pinnacle moments is absolutely ridiculous. Fans sound crazy to me. They sound absolutely crazy because, again, it's It's a process, and it's obviously sustainability. It's not something you can do year after year after year. And there's going to be moments where you get the manager right, but you don't quite have the squad right, or you have the squad right, but you don't quite have the necessary spending right. But as a club, you just assess that properly. Just because one of those things are off, it can't be automatic. Get that manager out of here. Automatic. We need a completely, new board or new owners. It seems nuts. Seems nuts. And I know it's probably because things are kind of rosy where I'm sitting right now. I would have to say the same thing if ownership happens to change. You know what I mean? I get joked about all the time. I mean, I've done an episode, pilot episode with Schools. Schools believes that once Man City wins the Champions League, that the owners are going to be like, our job's done. That Pep's going to be like, mission accomplished, and they're going to be like skating out of here. I don't believe that myself, based off of what I've been seeing over the years and the ambition and the vision that have been put into Man City, and the vision that they want for Manchester and football globally. But fans need to chill. Nastalgia FC needs to fall back. Man Museum FC needs to fall back. It's absolutely crazy. You know what? Absolutely crazy. And let me adjust that real quick, so let me say that one more time. Nastalgia FC and Man Museum FC need to just fall back and deal with the here and now. All that history talk, tired of hearing it. There's time for it. There's time and place for it. But to fall back on that being your point all the time, like, get out of here. I want to hear about the history all the time. I want to hear about the history you're making now, right? I want to hear about the history you're making now. This one's kind of rude. Will the 2019-2020 Liverpool be looked at similar to Leicester City? If Liverpool, strictly EPL, right? Strictly EPL. If Liverpool's not in the top 4 to end the year, and if they have a similar year in terms of like being inconsistent next year, they could easily be looked at like Leicester. I mean, I know the drop-off won't be as severe, just because of the financial backing that Liverpool has and the size of club that they are, but the one-off after 30 years of, no titles, no armpits, to winning one and then not being back for another 2-3 years, I think they're going to be looked at that way. And I also think that all the talk about, them being one of the best EPL champions and best teams ever assembled, like, all that is going to fade away. All that's going to erode away. All that's going to be forgotten. So I'm leaning more towards them being seen as Leicester than not, based off of what I've seen, because it looks like a lot needs to change over at Liverpool. And I don't think the owners have that ambition. 2, while things are being adjusted and, there's kind of like a cycle change for another push to be top of the league, I don't think the fans are going to be patient for it. I think this microwave social media, instant gratification, instant satisfaction, I don't think the fan base is going to be okay with, and I've said this before on the show, I don't think they're going to be okay with another 2-3 years. I really don't think so. I think them seeing Man City raising trophy after trophy is going to drive them crazy, and they're not going to have the patience for it. And don't be surprised if you're going to start seeing, which I think will be ridiculous, but don't be surprised if you start seeing Klopp out. I I don't want it to. I don't want that to happen. I'm very competitive. You guys don't know, and you'll definitely know the more you tune in. I play in a FIFA league. Back before the whole lockdown thing, I often got together with friends and we'd game, whether it be board games, dominoes. We do our thing. We're competitive, and I like getting better competition around me. So same thing goes for the EPL. I like that we got a Tuchel now over at Chelsea. I like that we got Klopp at Liverpool, right? Arteta over at Arsenal. You know what I mean? You got to watch out for Everton because nothing more needs to be said. That manager's proven. And honestly, given time, I know there's not many patient people out there, but given time, I think Ollie's going to be one of those managers to worry about. I really do. So, all the best. Best wishes to Liverpool. Healthy recovery for Van Dijk. He's an amazing player. And the tougher, the better the league is, the better prepared the teams are going to be when it comes to facing the rest of Europe. And it just benefits everybody in the EPL. So I'm all for it. I'm a competitive in nature. Don't back down from it. And I just want to see the best play. So, shoot. Time flew by again. Episode 4, VatorgamesTV presenting Why Always Me. And why always me? Man City ties. Mario Balotelli for forever will be a part of my Man City life, my Man City history and memory. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm gonna try to do a little more on social media. I'm gonna try to do a little more with regards to some of the content I'm seeing out there. There's some really good people on the internet right now covering the EPL, sharing their opinion, and hopefully I can link up and share mine from way over here on the other side of the pond, being here in Toronto. So much respect. Hope you enjoyed the show. We will be back next week. And if you like gaming, if you're a FIFA person, check out the IEGA or hit me up on the socials, Vader Games, on Twitter, on IG, and we'll be back next week. All right, let me do this real quick. Much respect, Vader Games. I'm gone.